watching the replay, this is take 3 of the live stream that we're doing. I'm trying. The first one just would not connect. Can you hear me now? Hi, Dustin. And it's so weird because it's showing me that there's nobody here. But I do see you. Can you hear me? Please let me know because we're having some interesting technical difficulties today. I'm going to just give it a few minutes. Let's see. Because I have a lot I want to share. I know I don't have much of a voice. You can hear. Okay, thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. We're good. All right. Wow, take 3. 3 is a charm, right? That was interesting. And I asked because I'm feeling I'm not feeling 100% obviously, but I'm feeling way better than I had been for the last couple of days. And in that solitude cocoon of being sick, I just received so many messages and downloads and insights and clearing and a lot for myself and a lot to share. So I'm glad we're here. Welcome everybody. We'll just give it a couple minutes to let others pop in. I know that I saw Lisa was in the last one. There's Lisa. Hi, Lisa. It's so weird. It's still showing me that there's 2 people in here, and I do see there's more than 2. So there's something going on. And of course, Mercury retrograde plus solar geomagnetic storms plus whatever else. We're going to have these hiccups, especially with technology. But I was asking, I'm like, you can't hear me in the last one. And I was asking, should I go on even though my voice is crackly, even though I don't have my full capacity yet? I feel a lot of energy. I want to connect to all of you. I've been wanting to connect to all of you since last week. And I got the go ahead. And then YouTube was like, nope, we're not going to let you guys hear or see or whatever. So thank you for finding me. Thank you for finding me. So yes, I have been a little or a lot under the weather since Tuesday actually of this week, and getting better. But yeah, as soon as the first big blast from the sun hit, I got hit with started off with just a head cold, but of course it moved down into my chest and my throat. And it's interesting because another medium that I work closely with, she has laryngitis too, and it's just an interesting part of the journey, I suppose. Oh, I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about all of you. So I'm so glad that we're here and connecting. There's been a lot since the last time we connected. A lot has gone down, right? Hi, Christina. And it's just been one thing after the other, and of course, universe doesn't disappoint when it comes to we're going to blast you with more and more light and more energy. And it's been an amazing ride, though, honestly. Hi, Jess. Hello, family. I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope everybody's having a great day, too. I'm so glad to see all of you here. And even though I don't sound that great, I feel great. I'm really happy to be here, connecting with you guys and just feeling the changes and shifts that are going on. It's exciting. On one hand, because we saw this coming for a long time, and now we get to really work on closing and completing some pretty big spiritual lessons and other chapters of our lives that we've been experiencing. But when I say spiritual lessons, I really am talking about the Pisces aspect, the Neptune in Pisces aspect, because Neptune is lingering at the very last degree, retrograded back, the very last degree, 29th degree of Pisces, the anaretic degree, the completion aspects, and will not be back in Pisces in our lifetime. So Neptune moved into Pisces in 2011. We have been able to, if you're really going within and following where spirit's leading you, we are really being able to, we have 6 planets in retrograde, with all of the review and reflecting back on ourselves, how far we've grown and evolved since 2011, or since the beginning of when we can remember. Lisa says, I definitely closed the family karmic tie in the last few months. Yeah, I think that a lot, that's what we're doing. Like a lot of closure of karmic lessons. I don't even like the word ties because, well, we are disentangling. I guess we could use that word. My guides are like, yeah, we were kind of entangled in some stuff energetically, emotionally, but we're like untangling ourselves from things from the past. Hi, Michelle. Hello, everybody. Oh, I'm so glad that you're all here. Hello, Jose, Lisa, Jess. Okay, let me get back to what I wanted to share. Well, first, let's just take a moment, take a breath to maybe tap into ourselves, our hearts. Slow it down. This is that Pisces energy. Are we able to slow down enough to be present? Are we able to slow down enough to understand the rhythms and cycles of life and the 4 elements that we've been working with through this lifetime: earth, air, fire, water, within and without, and then connecting to the 5th element, the ethers. It's been such a beautiful, miraculous journey. It's also been very challenging and disheartening, and all of the things wrapped up together. But what many of us that are here on this channel connecting, we have been consciously clearing away all that baggage, all of the things that we were entangled in that had kept us from being connected to our higher self, being connected to our true self, but even more so when we are talking about the ether, how we all connect to one another and everything. And it's a beautiful process that the ego mind that's boxed in cannot grab a hold of. So there's some interesting things that I want to share. One of the first things that kept coming up for me, well, I actually want to share the card that I pulled before I went live. And this is for all of us. It is called Past, Present, Future. And it is from the Shamanic Healing Oracle. Thank you, Dustin. Thank you to the moderators out there. And I do want to point out, I do see you also, Zachary. And we hold space for everybody here. But then if there are egoic projections that are really being lashed out, wanting to take center stage, the moderators may take care of what you put out into the comments, but you're always welcome to be here and be a part of this connectivity that we're in right now. So let's get back to this first card that I pulled before we even began. We all arrive on this earth with a plan. We all have lessons to learn. In the process of learning these lessons, Most of us will encounter experiences that we will label as bad, it says in quotes. This labeling and duality we carry with us wherever we go is what we call our so-called baggage. When we let these labels direct our reactions to life and experiences in the present, or even project them into the future, we are working with a lower energy vibration. When you are able to integrate your lessons without labels, then you are free to remain in the present experience and enjoy it for what it truly is. You can then move forward into the future without expectations or agendas and be much more open to what will be for our highest and best. Let go of labels and judgments surrounding this situation. So whatever it is that may have been speaking to you, and we do have a lot of gremlins that kind of get in and speak to the mind. We're still in Scorpio season, so being able to see the subconscious and the unconscious and collectively and within ourselves has been quite a ride for sure. I also want to say, I think I just lost it though, also. A little bit of interference. Let me just kind of cleanse this space again, or just add some Palo Santo to the space. But we're all in this together. And I feel so blessed and grateful to finally be at a place in life where I can be extremely open to not knowing, but also sharing the insights and the lessons and what I do know in my heart, in my inner knowing, and the messages that I receive intuitively. Not that anybody has to take what messages I receive as theirs, but there's a resonance. Again, when we find resonance with one another, we're able to work together to elevate into newer states of being or newer states of consciousness. So that was the first message that I wanted to share with all of you. And going back to completions, we're completing a lot of different cycles right now. A lot. But when we're talking about the spiritual journey, we've got Pisces at the last degree, Neptune at the last degree of Pisces. And Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. So this is big. It's big. It's closing and completing some pretty hefty duty spiritual experiences and lessons. And then we have Saturn along there with Neptune, which really kind of solidifies and grounds things into reality for us. So what we have been experiencing in the etheric, in the spiritual realms, a lot of times we'll start to see that actually manifest into form, which is a beautiful experience here. And another thing I wanted to share, and I just share these things because maybe there's something in it for you guys or somebody that's out there. Because of, well, I was sick in bed, so much downloads and information and things come to me where I'm not distracted. There isn't any, I can't go away. Like I can't be distracted by it. When we talk about the catalysts to our awakening, there are so many people, and I'm one. I am one of many that have had the catalyst to the awakening come from spiritual, but come through, let's say, thank you, come through another human being. That is challenging, especially in the beginning, because we are doing projections and blame and all of that stuff. So I've really consciously worked through so much to really let the person off the hook that was the catalyst to my awakening, and it's taken many years to go through all of those layers. I had this, it came out of like a fortune cookie on my refrigerator for like 5 years or maybe longer. I kept it because it spoke to me when I needed to hear it. And it says, "You can't make someone else's choices. You shouldn't let someone else make yours." Oh, I know it's backwards. I'm sorry. I know it's backwards on the live, and I don't know why, but I'm like, it kept falling off my refrigerator onto the counter, and I would just put it back up for days. Of course, I'm like foggy brain because I'm sick. I just kept putting it back up, and I couldn't see it because I didn't have my glasses on. Well, today, finally, I'm like, all right, I see you want me to read you. So I get my glasses and I picked it up, and I'm like, oh, this is a completion of some of the experiences that I was, not experiences, but memories and reflections that I've been going through for the last week and a half, on my journey. Um, just checking in with the chat, making sure everybody's doing well. Um, there's many, but one of the big things I know that when we're on the path to enlightenment, awakening, connecting to our true nature, connecting to unity consciousness, however you want to word it, we're on the spiritual path and we know it. There are three things. Well, no, there's multiple things, but the first I want to mention, and it's definitely come through in all the readings I've ever done, is the letting go of, first, being able to see within self where we are actually participating in the three C's. The three C's: consume. And these are these desires within. Consume, 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 whether it's food, drugs, alcohol, content, how much I can know, how much I can, whatever it is. It's not a good or bad thing, but we humans tend to consume more than not. Let's just put it that way. Consume, compare, and compete. These are the three things that we need to see within ourselves in all aspects of life, all areas of how we interact with life, not just superficial, all of it. And be willing to let go. Pisces is the energy of letting go, finally dropping it, no longer serving me. I am open to going with the flow. I'm open to being receptive. We are moving into a time where feminine energy, again, not gender, but energy, is rising, is opening up within us. Pisces and Neptune are also very much linked to our intuitive senses, our intuition, our gut instinct. These are things that we're naturally born with. And releasing ourselves from the dogma, from the program, from the stigma. Interesting. All of that, and reconnecting again to our true nature. And then, of course, the other thing that is a little bit harder to always see, because some of the times we think, what's the saying, um, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, right? Um, that triad, savior being the top, victim, perpetrator, savior. We think we're doing the right thing, or our intentions are good, but learning on the spiritual journey when we're not meant to actually, again, save anybody. You can't make someone else's choices. You shouldn't let someone else make yours. So those are big messages, definitely big messages that have come through. I'm sorry to hear about your dog passing away. Sorry. Sorry for all of the loss that people may be experiencing and going through. This is definitely a time of dissolving and decay and renewal. Death and birth go hand in hand, and it's not easy. It's not easy at all to process. And we tend to have very strong attachments to people and animals and the things that are they're not going away, but they're no longer in form. Our lives are changing in a very dramatic and drastic way, and this will continue for the next few years in a pretty hefty duty way. So it's really important that we stay connected to our heart, we stay connected to our soul, we stay connected to each other through the ups and downs and the all arounds and all of those things. I don't know how to get out of my sorrow and grief. The way to get out of it is to go into it. It's deeper. It's deeper than what you think it is. To allow yourself to go into the feelings, the water. The water element is probably one of the hardest ones for us all to journey into. That is deep emotions. And we are in grand water trine right now. We are in Scorpio season still right now. And that is an opening. It's an invitation to go deep into the feelings. It will open up. It will liberate you. It will free you. We humans are pretty afraid of our emotions because they've been suppressed for so long. The depth of our emotions have been suppressed intentionally in our lifetime through our childhood. And depending on what generation you've grown up in, what age you are, we're all traversing different Pluto generational experiences here as well. Yeah. Oh, I'm sending you lots of love. I don't know what you're talking about, Tommy. I think that is yeah, thank you, Jess. Every time I peek up, I'm like, what topic are we on now? What? I feel okay. Ooh, we haven't pulled from these cards in a long time. Do we really want to go? They're saying yes. Okay. Yeah, I have to learn to just kind of focus on what's coming and what content I am giving out there. Thank you guys so much for supporting this group, this channel, this community with all of your... You think it was a robot? It's so hard to tell. This is where we need to use discernment, you know? And really, this is what Neptune and Pisces is teaching us. Trust. Do you trust yourself? Do you trust your intuitive senses? Do you trust your discernment? Because things are not as they appear to be outside of ourselves. And as long as we know, as long as we are aware of the thoughts that go in through our mind, our ego selves, our shadow. Oh, the shadow has been coming up for everyone. The collective shadow, even. And these are just aspects of ourselves that we have denied, suppressed, hidden, even from ourselves. It's it's a time to get brutally honest with ourselves, because that's the only way we're really going to be free and liberated from the past and from the baggage and from the grief and the guilt and the shame that we've carried for lifetimes. But we'll just talk about this lifetime. Thank you guys. Yes, I appreciate you. All right, Spirit. Let's see. Tell us what else. How did you guys ride the wave of the solar storms? I'm curious about that. We've got strength. Gonna just get a couple cards out here first. Whew. The solar deity. How did you guys ride the waves of, look at those solar flares, if you could see this card. That, I literally leaped out of bed, not out of bed, but like it shot me up out of a deep sleep. Late Monday night, it was early Tuesday morning, the first X flare. And I was like, my whole body was buzzing, and I get very physically, viscerally affected by the solar weather. Obviously, it really took me down. The following day, I was working a full day retreat, so I was doing readings and group meditation all day long for like five women. It was a beautiful day, but I think in between that and the major X class 3 solar flares that came through, by the end of that day is what really kind of, I pushed myself a little bit. I didn't realize how vulnerable my wiring and my body was to all that. But I mean, it is what it is. And it was my birthday on Sunday. I tend to get sick with some upper respiratory thing every year on my birthday. I don't know why, other than looking at my Saturn is in Gemini in the 9th house, which, for those of you, oh, we have the sun and the moon. And, Gemini and the 9th house. 9th house is about, higher, teaching, learning. It's about the higher mind. And Gemini is about the communicating. So it's almost like my voice, my vocals. Saturn is about the lungs. It's just so interesting how when I looked at it in a medical way, how that made sense. And it happens every year on my birthday. I look back at pictures of myself as a kid, and my nose is all runny and stuff, red. It's crazy. Let's see what you guys are saying, because I asked the question. It was wild, yes, says Lisa. Was definitely away. We tried to catch the aurora lights but missed it. Could see it on the East Coast. The pictures were insane. Yeah, everybody around here where I live was sending me pictures, and I was just too sick to get up and look. But I mean, I've seen them before. Some were seeing them with the naked eye. The animals in my yard were acting crazy. Yeah, my cat's she's been super like cuddly. I think she's also protecting me because of being sick. She's just been like on me all the time. Dustin, one of my dogs, was irritated by X flares, but me and the other pup didn't react. Yeah, it's interesting. Not everybody has the same reaction. Amy has more of a connection to that than I do. She definitely felt it. Yeah. Hi. Imagine feeling those your whole life. X flares, corona holes, CME. It definitely affected me. This is Gemini right here telling about myself. Yeah. Um, been feeling them for 50 years. Yeah, but I'm 54. Been feeling them my whole life too. Just wasn't aware of what it was. Actually, I didn't even really get into astrology and tracking the sun. I was psychically pulled to look at the sun, like legit, literally, and started to see the halo, some call them sundogs. I don't like that name, but the aurora around the sun, and that was around 2018. And I'm like, what is that? And I started to dig into it and then put two and two together. It was helping me feel more sane about myself because of the sensitivity. But that's definitely, some of us are really wired super hyper sensitive to energies. And it's not a bad thing. There's a reason for it because we're also like the weather barometers for energy, and you can use that to your benefit. You can use that to help others as well. Chris stayed focused on the most important things and blocked out any distractions and over the top energy, but my dogs were going crazy and freaking out, somewhat like they would do before an earthquake. Yeah, then you see how that animals have that primal instinct and sensory systems. Like a lot of us are really, we all have it. I don't know why some people like myself and a few others are like super hyper ultra sensitive to them, other than we can also pick up on things like an earthquake, or I can feel a storm coming before it's even like predicted on the weather apps or whatever. You could just feel it. You can, and that's why I say it's like the energy weather barometers is what we are really. Lisa says they affect you physically too. Yeah. And it this time around, I kind of had a feeling I was going to be down for the count. Interestingly enough, I've been around so many people from like up until I was in bed. I checked in with everyone. I thought maybe the kids had given it to me, a cold, or it was my birthday. I was around a lot of friends, and I work in retreats and stuff. Nobody else got sick, and except for me. So I'm like, okay, well, that happens every year. So let's get back to the reading. Yeah, that was the case. I've been doing zodiac readings, and there was a theme this time around. The theme, and I'm still doing them. I just had to kind of take a break. The theme is, what chapter are you closing through the zodiac? And I got about halfway through, and the other day, was it yesterday? What day is it? I think it was yesterday. Yesterday, I thought I had the energy to do it, and I did do the Pisces reading. And after that, that's when I had to like go back into bed, and my voice totally went away. And I'm like, I guess I'm not doing these readings until I'm 100%. But I did have a lot more stuff that came up that I had to process that I will talk about once we get through this reading. So we start off with the Two of Crystals. You see the yin and the yang. The balancing act. We have ascension below that. I love this deck. I just do have to look into the book because the meanings are so deep. I'm picking up, I mean, I can say very simply that overall this is about bringing us to a place of balance within ourselves through between our shadow aspect and our higher self. And this is the overall message here. We do have 3 major arcana that came out to talk about this topic. What is our seeker contemplating? In one hand, he holds a spherical geode, the yin energy archetype of a womb-like amethyst cove. Oh yeah. In the other sits the powerful quartz generator crystal that he found on top of the cliff, the yang archetypal energy. What new consideration do these 2 crystals bring? And of course, we're talking about the masculine and feminine energies. He stands on solid ground, yet behind him looms the mighty sea of his emotions. Clearly, he is weighing the value of these 2 tools, 2 options. It is necessary to choose between them. Or can he combine the energies of both and in doing so, be transported to achieving a higher goal? The key invites the querent to consider the options available and see if he or she can combine them rather than choose between them to achieve the unified balance of the yin-yang harmony within that wholeness. What tools are you choosing for this next journey? Are there choices that need to be made, or can you integrate them and move forward? What destination are you focused on, and have you set sail to reach it? How are you balancing the yin-yang energies in your life? Okay, so that's the question. How are we balancing our human being present with the human doing, producing, consuming, being here in a physical body, having a human experience? How are we balancing that? And these are always good questions to journal on through our day-to-day, because we have Virgo as the South Node, which is asking us to change the way we operate on our day-to-day basis. It's asking us to move into Pisces, into flow, into trust, into a slowdown. And this is not a temporary slowdown. This is a way of being. Human being, not human doing. So we have the Strength card, first card out. And then we have the Sun and the Moon. I love it. Again, more masculine, feminine energies here. Wow. And I will talk about that. Oh, just give me a moment. My guides are like, just talk about it already. And I see the Lovers. I will. I don't know if this actually pertains to everybody. I know that it does not. So I'm going to share, I'm going to save what I want to share for towards the end. What am I looking for here? Strength. Okay. I love this one. We need the strength to balance both. Yeah. We need the strength also to tame our ego and the inner voices and the outside world and the program. I catch myself every single time I get swept up into uh, the conditioned mind, or things have to be this way. If somebody tells me it has to be this way, this is the way you do it, I practice the pause. And I suggest that everybody do that. Wait, let me sit with that. I'm not going to just jump on board with anything that anybody says it has to be this way. It won't work otherwise. Let me sit with that. Give me a chance to really um, mull that over within my own perspective, right? Strength. Homo sapiens are considered the intellectual master of earth biology, the highest form of consciousness of all primates. Yet we still have not managed to learn to control and calm the savage beast within. It is a lesson Starseed has come to learn again to remember. How are we the beasts of our own passion? Oh, and here we go back to passion, desire. It's coming up. It's important. We need that fire. But how is that fire lit, right? How are we working with the elements? How are we the beasts of our own passion? And from where do we truly glean our strength to dominate the jungle animal within us? Through the reason of our higher selves and the unconditional love of the heart. The strength key speaks to us of the power of love and how the impulsive animal self is embraced and soothed in softness of the feminine yin spirit. Always prepared to strike, the tiger yields to the grace of the female form, and she, naked and vulnerable before the beast, fears not. The animal, forceful self, and the loving, gentle self merge as two aspects of the greater whole. This key teaches us that inner strength is as much about gentility and grace as it is about force and fierceness. The vital and even sexual animal response. Associated with the strength key are the words self-mastery, compassion, self-awareness, understanding, respect, courage. Questions to consider when this key appears in a reading are the following. What are the primal needs that try to dominate the higher reflections of my consciousness? How do I nurture the beast within me, calming the primal instinct? How am I demonstrating strength in the situation? Hi, Vicky. You know, I feel like I want to share at least this part of what I want to share at the end of this reading. I'm getting nudged to do so with this card, with this part of the reading. Last night and then this morning, a song came to me. As many of you know, a lot of times messages will channel through me, through songs to me. And it starts off with the song, the melody, a little bit of the song, and then I have to go dive. If I don't know the words or I don't know, I have to kind of, it's pretty easy. So it was the song Uninvited by Alanis Morissette that was playing over and over and over and over again. And so today I dove into reading the lyrics to that song. And it was a piece, it was a nudge, it was something from within me. Because the version of the song that when I went to look up the lyrics was playing a live version, and there was a lot of fire. There was a lot of I love Alanis Morissette because she expresses everything unapologetically. Um, and I felt it through every cell of my body. And then I had to sit with this is definitely an aspect of me that is looking for closure and completion in a cycle. And I can't let that fire consume me, but I can nurture it. I can honor that part of the journey and that part of me. And I do have a lot of fire in my chart too. Um, Lisa, you've been hearing her songs too. Yes, I love her. You know, she's been playing in my head, or will actually physically play sometimes, um, at very key points of the journey, which is just like amazing, right? Um, okay, so we're going into the sun. Jess says, love you, Dustin. I've been struggling with that lately, trying to force things instead of just trusting the process. It really is my biggest challenge. Well, and I will say what we're working with that as knowing that it's a challenge is half the battle's already done with. Now you know what you're working with. And Neptune will be in the last degrees of Pisces for a few months. So I feel like you're gonna be able to like cross that bridge to the other side. I feel like a lot of us are like getting a big like spotlight. We're aware of what it is that um, we are being asked to, and it's not like, okay, I'm just gonna throw this baggage away. It's not like that. It is very organic. It is a surrendering. It's a release. It's a nurturing. It's bringing those two aspects of self, masculine, feminine, mother, father, within, together to connect to the higher self and ask, pray, connect every day. Ask, please allow this life to reflect my higher self to me, to keep me on the path, to honor all of the parts of me that have been on this journey, but also allow me the strength and the willingness to let go of those wounded parts that are still stuck in victim or vulnerability. And there's nothing right or wrong about that either. It's a process, and there's no we have to release shame, we have to release guilt, blame. It is a natural organic process that we're going through. And yeah. Okay, so let's move on to solar deity after reading into the strength card. I just love this deck. I guess I don't read from it because it feels very extra to me sometimes. Okay. And you know, I'm already being told I have to discipline myself with certain decks. I need to spend more time with them. Yes, thank you, Spirit. Okay. Anyway. Ooh, my candle's going crazy all of a sudden. Lots of fire. We have the sun, which has been extremely active. Extremely active. Still is. Still is. It's sending us light codes, it's sending us plasma, it's sending us radio waves, communication, information. Light is information. It's opening our eyes, it's opening our consciousness. It's doing a lot, and also the cells in the body are purifying and clearing away. You may notice that what you may have had like a taste for, whether it be food or music or whatever, suddenly it's not really speaking to you the same way. We're morphing and changing internally and externally. What are you guys saying? Oh, I love you guys. Hmm. Yes, please don't forget to like and share and subscribe. I appreciate you all. All right, let's go on to solar deity. Our sun is a conscious being. It is the center of our galactic family of celestial beings in what we call our solar system. Around it, we all gravitate to its life-bearing energy, its physical light and warmth, and its infinite radiance. This is our star, up close and comfortable, in galactic measure. Throughout distinct eras in human history, the sun was worshipped as a living deity. Once again, with so many starseeds born into these times of great shift, we are connecting the puzzle pieces anew. We are remembering that all celestial beings are conscious beings. They are gods in their own way, grand and unfathomable, powerful, unfathomably powerful, as gods should be. The ancient Greeks knew the sun as the god Apollo, whose white-winged steed flew his chariot around the sky. To the Egyptians, it was Ra, who traveled in his solar boat through the desert night. All creation myth holds the commemoration of morning, a return of the sun, and that primordial celebration still lives within us all. Without the sun, all is barren, cold, and lifeless. Sun gods of ancient civilizations were attributed with powers of prophecy. They reigned over music and the arts. They healed plagues and were associated with all things positive, beautiful, and light. Hence, it is the most radiant and powerful key in the entire tarot theater, and drawing it is the most positive energy. The sun wears its coronal ejections as a crown. It is explosive, hot, and powerful, beautifully majestic, and self-aware. Overlaid upon its fiery body is the imprint of the sacred geometry found in the sunflower. Sheer perfection of godly design and cosmometric proportion. When this key appears to the querent, it is a hallmark of great things in the works. The light of Ra shines down upon the seeker. Bask in it and celebrate the light of the universe. Enlightenment is unfolding, and all that starseed has encountered and learned, from projections of the self to obstacles on the path, lie behind. It is a gloriously beautiful new day. Questions are a few with this amazing key. Am I ready to honor the true light of my soul? Do I recognize the beauty of my being? Oh, how can I be a lighthouse for others to share in the bliss of being so connected to Source? What wonderful thing is unfolding before my very eyes? Do I appreciate all that is given? So beautiful. And when we say all, that was another Alanis Morissette song that came to me this morning. Thank you. The song Thank You. I'm not going to sing for you guys today, obviously, but it was like, thank you, India. Thank you. Saying thank you to everything. And I found myself doing that this morning, thanking every single human being that has played a role, a very important role, whether what I would label good or bad or whatever. Every obstacle, every challenge, every single thing. And when you do that out loud and you mean it, ooh, watch your energy shift, watch your consciousness shift. Suddenly, there's a big, giant shift in your very essence and being, and you realize that without all of those people, experiences, even if they were traumatic, because a lot of them were traumatic, that I was thanking, because I'm at that place of I've definitely, it's taken a long time consciously healing from the wounds, the traumas. I'm not asking anybody who's still in their healing journey or who is still traumatized to be thankful for them, but you will get there. And when you do, you will find great, huge liberation. That burden is just lifted off of you. Suddenly you see as source sees, as your higher self sees. So that's that for that one. Lisa, you love that song too. Yeah, I mean, there were some good ones that were coming to me this morning. There were only two this morning, but it made me want to go down an Alanis Morissette rabbit hole because she's got some good stuff. Let's see. Wait a second. I see. Thank you, me. That's right, Dustin. um, the moon, La Luna, is the last card. So it's interesting that they came out the sun first and then the moon. And boy, have these moon cycles that we have been in, not just the full and new moons, but even the quarter moons, boy, they have been potent and powerful, especially at this ending of 2025. And the moon does speak to not just our emotions, but our energy field and the unconscious, the subconscious, the water, the gravitational pull, that force. So let's see what it has to say in the book. After gazing at the stars, Starseed's attention is drawn to the glowing moon, now prevalent in the night sky. And I will tell you, through this book, it takes you through the journey. So the star is before the moon in tarot too. So we go through our healing journey and then we come out the other side more enlightened, more liberated, more able to forgive, and not just forgive, but then be grateful for all of the experiences. With the sun, as the sun was speaking, liberation. Suddenly it turns a light on that says, you know what? Now I understand what I went through that caused me suffering, and I understand why I'm here. I'm here to help others that are going through that passage right now, just to be a light, a lighthouse in the dark, a source of support. We can't change anybody. We can't pull anybody through their journey, but we can be there with love, compassion, and just that understanding. I found that when people come and talk to me and I look them in the eye and I know exactly what they're talking about, what they're feeling, they're sensing, I see such a relief come over them because they have never been able to share and be heard and be seen by another person. Or they've held it in for too long, or if they did try to share it, even in therapy, they're not really witnessed and seen that way. We have that power of doing that when we go through our traumas and our wounds and we heal from it. That is the alchemical process of turning lead into gold. Okay, so anyway, let's get into this one. After gazing at the stars, Starseed's attention is drawn to the glowing moon, now prevalent in the night sky. How odd it truly is that this one celestial body changes us day after day. Now crescent slivers, now full moon, now invisible. Luna is truly the most curious of the celestial beings, as she shows this perpetual changing face to us. And those changing aspects appear to have a most dramatic effect on the tides of our emotional seas. as they do on our great oceans. She does have a reputation for appealing to the darker side, but Luna is luminous, reflecting the light of the solar deity. She is magnetic to the sun's electric. She is cool to the sun's heat. Her reflective relationship to the sun is somewhat a mirror for us to gaze into our deeper oceans and reflect upon our emotional ups and downs. She affects the cycles of female fertility in her monthly orbits around the Earth. When we learn to connect to the moon's rhythms, we handle flux with much more grace and ease. When we plant in certain lunar cycles, the seedlings respond to those subtle energies and growth is more bountiful. The more we feel and honor her rhythms, it seems, the more easily we resonate with the flow of her impact upon Earth and within the waters of our very being. Everything about this key speaks of how the moon influences us. She is dark at times, brilliant at others. She is moody. She is luminous. She rises and sets on the horizon. She is as elusive as our own emotional perceptions. Her pull is so powerful, it can drive people to insanity. Many are the police reports of increased violent crime at the full moon, and yet it is also the ultimate romantic light of a spring night when Luna's light shimmers silvery on the lake or stream. What is the light just off of her side? It's a ship. Oh, interesting. Okay. Many believe there is intelligent life on the dark side of the moon. Who knows what illusions remain to be revealed at this time of remembering that we are not the only intelligent life in the universe. Whose face is on that moon? Perhaps it is the spirit of Luna shining down upon us, asking us to remember that we too are reflections of the greater light. Questions for the person meditating or drawing this key is the following. How am I being moody and emotionally unsettled? What has me feeling out of balance? Why do I have such a huge swing in emotion? What keeps me distracted from achieving joy and higher states of consciousness? Am I like the different phases of the moon? Why do I show only one face to the world and hide the other? What am I concealing? Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And with that, I will share one last message that was pretty powerful. And I did have a dialogue with a very dear friend of mine just yesterday about this. And it really did open me up to, okay, I'm not the only one, and I'm not imagining this. And so I understand it at a much deeper level. Not to say that I understand it all the way. I know I'm being a little cryptic here, but so let's see if I can get some cards on the subject also. Talking about sacred contracts, soul contracts between person to person. And since we're coming up to some pretty big completion cycles, this is coming up for us. And what I'm talking about, as I started in the beginning of this live, was that many, not all, because a lot of us do have our awakening happen through it's always some kind of catalytic, sometimes traumatizing event, whether it be an accident, a near-death experience, a tragedy of sorts, deep loss, I know I've had a lot of those things happen to me in my life, and none of them really shook me and woke me up like what I'm about to talk about. I don't even know what to call it other than it's a sacred contract with another. And yes, it has been misused and abused in spiritual communities called AKA twin flame. And I am one that had been shocked. It's almost like they took like the what are they it was like I got shocked awake, and I needed it. I see that now. I've had near death experiences, 3 as a matter of fact. I've talked to star beings, I've left my body. I've had loss of a parent, I've had death, um drug abuse. I've seen it all in my lifetime, and nothing shook me or woke me up like this, what I'm about to talk about. And so it's hard to put to words. And I think that there was another energy that kind of came in and wanted to twist and morph this type of experience around to be something that it wasn't, just like we humans do. Or maybe it's not even a human thing. Maybe it's another consciousness that comes in and kind of tricks us. Because many things have been distorted in our language. Love, the word love, has been deeply misunderstood and distorted. God, that's deeply been misused and distorted. Twin flame, and I'm sure that's a human word, but was when it came to me because I didn't even know what that was. I was not seeking it. I was married. I thought I was happily married. I thought I was happy, right? This is how it goes. You're in your unconscious day to day, happy. So you think, not looking at your shadow and all the things that you're bypassing in your life, right? Had all the things, had the husband and the house and the pool and all the things that I wanted materially. Had the career, was traveling around the world. Thought I was happy until I had this encounter. No, we're not. Okay, thank you. I had this experience with another human being that I now see was divinely orchestrated to come into my life at the most perfect time ever to shock me open so that I could start to love myself, so that I could see that I was not loving myself. And I didn't realize that's even what it was. Danielle saying resonates with me. That's what you're going through. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are going through this right now. This is why I'm talking about it. So I'm sorry for all those of you that you're not resonating, but you may know somebody that may be keeping this as a deep hidden secret, because I know I was married when it happened, and I've never been one to cheat or be unfaithful or anything. It is an energy that you cannot, it's uncontrollable. The intensity, the pull is unbelievable. And the person, I know for myself, and I know from the people that I talk to about this, is the polar opposite of self. Not your type, not the type you would ever think you'd be interested in, but even on a deeper level, it is the other side of the coin. It is the polar opposite of self. And it is a contract. So we all share the same, how do we say this, Spirit? Without getting all jumbled up. We all share like the same energy. We are all part of God or source or light. But then we have soul connections, soul pods. And so we make these contracts with people, with souls people, that you're going to incarnate this time as this character, and I'm going to incarnate as that character. We're going to be complete opposites of each other. There's also going to be a tie somehow karmically towards the lineage, the family lineage, ancestral patterns that need to be broken for each one. And we'll meet up. We'll meet up down on earth when it's time, because there's going to be a time where I'm going to really need to have a rude awakening. There's going to be many attempts to wake me up, and I'm going to fall right back asleep. This is my experience, personal experience. I'm going to fall right back asleep because I'm comfortable until you're not. And then you get cracked open into this very protected bubble of energy like you've never experienced in your life, because you haven't. And it is very sacred. It is like being in the womb. It is otherworldly. It is bliss. It shows you what love feels like. And suddenly, it opens all the chakras. It opens all the channels. It opens things that were really way closed. And sometimes that energy, for me, it was a Kundalini awakening, full blown Kundalini awakening. So there was a lot of energy going on for me in my awakening journey. Like we're always awakening, but I'm talking like from complete like amnesia, not complete, but denial. I didn't want to, I don't know why. My ego wanted to keep going for the material goods, I suppose. This, what was it even? My ego wanted to deny all the trauma and pain that I had to face, because truly that's what it takes us to. You get cracked open, you feel your heart, you feel everything in your body suddenly. That was the energy that allowed me to no longer take any medications. It did completely change my life around. But the bubble bursts, the bubble pops, and you're brought back down to earth. And it's the two polar opposite human beings that are met back up again. Usually one is way more conscious and aware than the other. One, it's the yin, the yang, the dark, the light. One runs and hides, and the other begins to evolve. Not saying that the other person was never going to evolve or awaken. I feel like this is what we're completing right now at the end of this year, 2025, is that cycle, because it opens up a lot. It opens everything up. It opens you up to everything you've ever experienced, your wounds and your desires and your fire. It's complete and utter neurosis, but with a purpose. And over time, in this journey, not always, but a good chunk of the time, the two who connected that created this third, there's a trinity. There's a third energy there. It's very sacred. When the third energy pulls away, usually one goes with the source energy and the other goes back to the old ways. And I happen to be the one that, I'm going on this journey. I'm not going back to that. I see now I was not happy. I see now I was not loving to myself. I see now I was not conscious. I see all the times, universe, you tried to awaken me and I just didn't want to hear it. I hear you, guides, and I kept shutting you off until I can't shut you off anymore. And so show me how I can actually be in my highest integrity, in my higher self. Show me what to do. And it's a true trust fall. It's a complete, the full letting go, like nothing makes sense anymore. You go through the dark night of the soul. It's a path, it's a journey, and it takes a few years. It is not a one and done. But if you are really, I don't want to say there was a carrot dangling, but there's that source, that love, that energy. And I knew it was actually mine, not mine. Like it didn't just belong to me, but I wanted that. I needed that. And I had to learn how to give it to myself and how to connect to that energy myself and not put another person, place, or thing as the object of desire. That was not true. Although the ego mind and the inner child that's like yearning and wanting, and all your unmet needs are shown to you and all that. So it's a journey, and it's a journey of forgiveness. It's a journey of self-discovery. I could write a book about this journey, so I don't want to take up too much of the time on this live talking about it. But what I will say is that there's something about this dynamic, because I know that there's a lot. I mean, it's not everybody for sure, but there are a lot of us that had our awakening this way, and it's been for some since 2012, 2011, 2012. For others, I know even this person, this catalyst, I don't want to call him that. I mean, the sacred contract, tried to connect with me in 2016 and 2017, probably even before that. And I was like, no, like I did not want to be woken up. I actually don't like people waking me up like in the physical level. So I was like, no. 2018 is when the energy got me. It got me good. I can sit back and laugh about it now, but I'll tell you what, we'll talk about a tortured soul and how much pain it was to be separated from that. That's the separation wound. It's almost as if how one would feel if you were a baby and you were separated from your mother, like the mother's like breastfeeding you or something. That kind of deep inner connection, that separation pain. So anyway, we go on a journey of self-discovery, a journey of learning about ourselves. And you can't deny, because this energy comes back, and probably the person comes back either in the physical or through, usually it's like through text or just in the mind or in dreams. And that's usually just like a knock on the door, like, there's another layer now we're working on. There's another layer. Are you ready? Are you ready for this letting go? Are you ready for this healing? It's not usually an invitation to like, hey, would you like to go out to dinner with me tonight kind of thing. That's not usually how it goes. So yeah, we get a lot of disappointments and things. There's the Eight of Voices in reverse. What do we want to say about this, Spirit? Eight of Voices in reverse. Tell me why. Yeah. Okay. So if you're resonating with this, we've had to really navigate through the dark and the pain for quite some time. Okay. And it hasn't been fun. A lot of it's mental, and the mind will run the show. We will only see what the mind, the ego mind, allows us to until we break ourselves free from. Tell me more. These are really dark, deep. Ooh. Something going on with this energy collectively, not individually. If you want individual readings, you'll have to reach out to me for personal readings, but I'm just talking collectively right now. And this is on this topic that I'm always so reluctant to talk about because of how it's been so you can even feel it when some people talk about it, and it's a lure. It's like a luring you in. We'll lure you in again. Do you want to hear more about what it is that you really deeply desire that you're not receiving? Like all of these things. Mine was through extreme grief. It was Lisa. Yeah. Well, and I think either way, because this sounds like a fairy tale, it's not. It actually causes, it's hard to put into words. It causes such extreme pain and grief. And like I said, I've been through death. I've had near death experiences. I've had accidents. I've had things taken away from me. I've had so much loss in my life. I've had abuse. You name it, and none of it was shaking me. None of it shook me like what I'm talking about. So my words are not putting any justice to the energy behind it, because there's so much depth and so much more meaning to these encounters and these experiences. They open portals up within you that you didn't know existed, which then we have to feel the grief. We have to feel the pain to go through the healing process. Okay, good. Oh, okay, something's speeding up. All right, okay. Something in this energy is speeding up, coming out of the dark, and no longer flip-flopping, juggling in between worlds when it comes to this energy. And I still, even as aware as I am with this, will deny myself access to completing this journey. I'm like, it's done, it's over. I don't want any more. I don't want anything else to do with that. With this, I say that as it's my ego protective mechanism, but it keeps coming back because there's more to it, and it's no longer provoking a deep desire or need in me. Now it's provoking, what am I letting go? What chapter am I closing? I'm excited, and I think if this is speaking to you, there's something really exciting here, because it seemed like it was slowing down, but truly there's a lot of inner workings that have been going on in the material plane as well. It's like that saying, when one thing shifts, everything shifts. When one person shifts, everybody shifts in some way, shape, or form, energetically. So it seemed like it was a slow process, because we had a lot. We even had past life stuff that we were working on that we weren't aware of, ancestral stuff through our family karma. You name it. My mom was here staying with, hi mom, if you're on here, staying here with me. She didn't know it, but there are certain things that she was sharing that were opening things up in me. And I was like, oh my God, light bulb moment. Aha, now I know where that comes from, kind of thing. So it's been happening faster and faster and faster and faster. It is a life's work, Lisa, that's right. But look at this. Mental anguish no more. We are completing this cycle as far as no longer allowing it to torture us mentally. We are aware of what our heart desires. We're aware of the bigger picture of it all. And the best thing is to be at that state and not forcing it, not a fake it till you make it. Being at that state of, I'm finally really grateful for this. I'm really grateful that this happened. I was saying that for so long because there was big aspects of me that really, truly meant it. But there were still smaller aspects of me that were still a little bitter or felt betrayed by the universe. Not even, like, I took the person out of the equation. I felt betrayed by my guides. I felt betrayed by the angels. I felt betrayed by the universe, because I was finally listening to them and they were leading me into this space. But I understand why. I understand why I had to go on that part of the journey. Why I understand my journey so much better now, because I was patient and I was trusting and not allowing my mind to take over and think it knows. My mind wants to know, wants to control, wants to, we're doing this because of this. Like, suddenly, no, just be present, have the experience. You're going to have your aha moment when it's time. And I feel like that's coming very soon for many of us. So whether it's I'm going to retract the twin flame thing for a moment, because I'm already picking up that whether it is that or something else in your life that has caused great pain, great struggling, mental anguish, emotional upheaval, but also put you on a journey of self-discovery and healing. Um, there's something that something is speeding up so much so that you're going to really be able to be sitting on top of that mountain with the owl and the crow and the bat and be like, you know what? It was all worth it. I understand my assignment, right? We all came down here on assignment because Earth is at its detriment. Humanity is at its detriment. And if we don't go through our part, our karma, work towards our dharma, we don't wake up and truly see, understand why are we here at this time when the world seems to be on fire. If you can't see that, sit with yourself. There's a wise old soul inside of every single one of us that already knows this answer, knows why you're here. You can look around and see, I know why I'm here. I'm here to first learn to love myself, and then to share that love, that compassion, that empathy, that divine essence that we all are a part of. I'm here to hold the line also. And we're here to connect. We're here to break through the veils. We're here to break through the bullshit. See our part in it all. What are we consuming? What are we comparing ourselves to? What are we competing against? What is it? Everyone has a story. Everyone has a journey. And ultimately, we all come back into wholeness, oneness. We are all this one that just got blasted out into space, into fragments of different archetypes and experiences, and eventually we come back. How was your ride? Great, how was your ride? Terrifying, but here we are, right? I realized that the more I love myself, I actually have an enormous amount of compassion for people. Exactly. Thank you for sharing that, Lisa, because that is so true. When we have enormous love for ourselves, we begin to have enormous love for everyone, because we see that everyone is an aspect of ourselves. You can't deny it anymore. That is part of the journey also. When you get to that part of the journey, that the heart just beams love and compassion. I see aspects of myself, 54 years that I've been on this planet, in front of me everywhere. Things that people say, things that people do. I'm like, that's an old version of me. That's an old version of me. There are old versions of me, but they still, I've lived them one and the same. And even if you want to take past lives or simultaneous lives, we are all sharing. Like, you play this, you wear these clothes today, I'll wear these clothes today. We're all in it together. So give that love, give that compassion. Because you got to give it to yourself first, though. We can't give that out to anybody else if we're not giving it to ourselves. That's the trick. So that's what I have for us all. Sorry it was a little extra long this time around, but there's a lot. There's a lot of, there's a lot that we're closing, completing. It's exciting, though. It's a time to get excited. It's a time to fall in love with this journey. Fall in love with yourself. Share that love. And understand when people aren't ready to receive it. It's okay. I'm still learning how to receive. We all are to some degree. And so don't take it personally. Understand that we all can come to an understanding of each other at a much deeper level, telepathically even. There's a lot happening for us all. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. And the psychic airwaves are like, there's traffic jam ups right now on the psychic airways. I'll tell you what, try to sleep at night. It's interesting. I'm sure most of you are being woken up between 2 and 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning every single night. Allow it. Just allow it. There's so much that, maybe it is a loved one from the other side wanting to just touch in and say hi. I used to yell, like, no, don't wake me up. But yeah, I know. I'm going to have to go. I have my tea, but I think it's time for me to stop talking now. Thank you, Amy. Around 2:30, says Jess. Yeah. Yeah. So I've learned to not fight it and invite. All right, who wants to talk to me right now? I'm going to give you a couple minutes and then please let me go back to sleep. Because usually when you fight it, that's when you can't fall back asleep. Murphy's Law, right? Sending you all so much love. Thank you guys for all being here and interacting and being a part of this. And hopefully my voice will be back full force by the end of today or tomorrow. But whatever. I'm just grateful that I can communicate at all right now, because we had a little bit of a hiccup trying to get this whole live started to begin with. Thank you all so much for being here. I wish you all the best weekend, and take good care of yourself. Drink a lot of water. You know the drill. Take good care of yourself. Take good care of your body. Connect to nature. Slow down. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Listen, be present, be patient. There's so much changing. And yeah, so much love to you guys. Thank you all for being here. Take care. Bye.